I've had a lot of people reach out to me over the last couple weeks, both home buyers and homeowners, that are really misinformed and just confused about the current market. Whether it's a home buyer that thinks they missed the boat and that the property values are too high now for them to buy, or somebody who owns property that thinks they missed the boat when it comes to getting a lower interest rate or refinancing and tapping their equity. So I thought it was really timely to bring to your attention an interview I did a couple weeks back on the Talk of Connecticut radio, the Mortgage Matters radio show. Cut out a couple clips here that I thought were really timely for you. So check it out and hope it helps. I'm finding a lot of people that are getting in touch with me. They're comparing it a lot to the last housing crisis, thinking that there's going to be a crash and I should wait to buy. The prices are so high. And the previous housing boom and then bust was really fueled by exotic mortgages and different mortgage products. The current housing market is being fueled by legitimate demand, supply and demand, economics. The 2007 bubble had no money down loans being, like I said, fueling the fire. So there was 100% financing on almost all loans. Even if you were an investor, you could get a multifamily home with no money down. You just had to pay closing costs. So why wouldn't someone, right? If you're an investor, it's like, how many can I buy? And you don't really care the price. That was then. This market, when you're buying a home, you're putting a down payment. There's only two loan programs that are seldom used, which are the VA loan and the USDA loan. Most people aren't using those to buy a home. Those are the no money down loans. Other than that, you're needing to put a down payment typically of at least 3%. I'd say 3 to 5% is the norm right now for an owner-occupied home. And if you're buying an investment property, you're talking about 15, 20, 25% down. Another thing is the type of loan program. So previous bubble, there was a lot of interest-only loans where it was like a really low payment and it just covered the interest. Those are really not being made much at all anymore. This market is mainly fully amortized loans, which means your payment's a little bit more, but every month the balance goes down. With those loans, the balance never went down, so people got in a really difficult scenario.
So then as a home buyer today, what would you expect navigating the current housing market?
So if you're a home buyer today, it's definitely going to be challenging. And the reason is because there's limited inventory, because people value their homes so much now where they live. They're spending more time at home, working from home. They're much more reluctant to list their house because it's like, okay, where am I going to live? I have to go somewhere. As a buyer, be decisive. If you find a house you like, you go in, you see it, you love it, you want it, make an offer like right away. You can't go home and sit around for a week trying to figure out, do I want it or not? By the time you make that decision, the house is gone. So you want to be decisive with making an offer very quickly and don't play games. I see a lot of buyers now that are new and their realtor doesn't set the right expectations with them and they somehow feel like they're going to lowball an offer or they're going to get the seller to pay all their closing costs right off the grip, and that's not going to happen. Those things are usually negotiated, if they happen, through the process, not up front. You have to put your best foot forward from the beginning. If an inspection issue comes up, an appraisal issue, or something else during the process, then we can go back with some bullets in the gun, so to speak, to use for negotiation, but not right away. And the last thing is to be very communicative. If you're trying to buy a house, there's a lot of deadlines that we need to meet. You need to communicate with your lender, communicate with your attorney, communicate with your realtor, all of the people involved, home inspectors, etc. And, everyone's busy, but respond to an email within a couple of hours, respond to a text within a few hours. Like, no one needs you to do it immediately, but don't wait 2 days to get back to your lender. Don't wait a day or two to get back to your realtor to tell them if you want to put an offer. That type of practice in this market is going to lead to frustration. It's going to lead to issues. And one little technique that I'll tell you about in this answer is, going back to the thing about limited inventory, I've been seeing a lot of people lately that are doing something called a tenant purchase in order to get around the limited inventory. And what a tenant purchase is, where you as a tenant can buy the house you're living in from your landlord. And it takes away the limited inventory because you're living in the house. And a lot of landlords want to sell their homes right now because the values are high. So I've had, just in the last few months, probably 3 or 4 clients that were out looking at maybe buying a house, and they said, the inventory is limited. I love where I live. I want to buy the house from my landlord. So I really hope that you found value in that clip here from the Mortgage Matters radio show on the Talk of Connecticut. One client actually came to me a while back just very disheartened with the status of the market right now. They were getting offer after offer denied. But when they stepped back and got a new perspective, got with a new realtor, and just kind of changed around their thinking, here we are now. They're actually about to close on their home in just a couple of weeks. So don't give up. Stay motivated. If I can be of help, reach out to me via call, text, or private message. And I hope you found value. Take care.